And welcome back this Thursday morning. You're watching News Breakfast. We start this hour on the Queensland bushfires, of course, and there is some good news this morning for some of the thousands of Queenslanders affected by the crisis, but authorities are warning the danger has not passed. More than 100 fires are still burning across the state. A new emergency sprang up overnight when the small communities of Camplin Beach and Serena Beach, south of Mackay, came under direct threat.
There's also some welcome news this morning, though. It's been confirmed in the last hour that the town of Gracemere has been saved, and locals who left at short notice yesterday are allowed to return to their homes. Other major fires remain at watch and act status.
With the latest, we're joined from Agnes Water by reporter Emilia Terzon. Emilia, good morning. Some sighs of relief being felt right across Queensland.
There's definitely some sighs of relief this morning, and that's followed by what was a very hectic and catastrophic day by all accords yesterday here in Queensland. Here I am near Deepwater National Park, where a bushfire has now been raging for days and has burnt through 20,000 hectares of bushland and destroyed, we believe, more than 4 homes. We're still figuring out exactly what the extent of the damage there was. But the conditions here yesterday were catastrophic. I've spoken to firefighters who say that the winds were going in every single which way direction. The heat was incredible with these heat waves we're experiencing here. Yesterday afternoon, luckily, after some very strong pleas and language from emergency authorities and the Premier of Queensland, Anastasia Palaszczuk, she all but begged people still in deep water to evacuate their homes. And yesterday we saw these scenes of people leaving their community by boat because the access to them to get out of their community, bridges, had been burnt out, so they had to leave on tiny little boats. We believe there's still a few people left there, but the authorities have been praising people of Deepwater for leaving. Overnight, we know that the conditions obviously calmed down a little bit, with the winds quieting a little bit, and today we're hearing that there might be a tiny bit of reprieve and conditions might be a little bit better. So luckily a little bit of sigh of relief there, but it's still just a watch and see situation.
Very much so, and lots of relief, Emilia, about the town of Gracemere being saved.
There is so much relief about the town of Gracemere. I actually am normally based out of Rockhampton, which is just a stone's throw from Gracemere. And to hear yesterday that Gracemere, which is a town of 8,000 people, it's huge. It has pubs, supermarkets, shopping centres. To even hear that a place like that would be evacuated and threatened due to bushfire is just staggering, and I'm still quite staggered by it. So, and the idea of where those thousands and thousands of people would be going to Rockhampton showgrounds, and I saw pictures of people with their dogs in the car, and the roads were clogged up, and we spoke to residents who couldn't get out. So a lot of chaos yesterday, but such a sigh of relief that now that town looks like it's people can go home, and so I have a bit of a sigh of relief there.
Lots of Queensland firefighters doing exceptional work on the ground there, Emilia, but also lots of volunteers from other states, including New South Wales there. You've caught up with a few of them.
Yes, I've been here enjoying the smells of bacon and egg cooking this morning with the rural fire volunteers from New South Wales. Volunteers of all ages from all across New South Wales, from Western Sydney through to the northern beaches, through to rural communities across New South Wales. They've been doing 12-hour shifts overnight or during the day in these tough conditions. They're not being paid, but they're in the best of spirits, and they say that they don't need to be paid, they're just here helping out the community. And despite the incredibly chaotic conditions that they were describing to me this morning, there's also been some really beautiful stories come out of them. One of them, Jodie Preston, was just telling me about how yesterday they came across a sheep that had been bogged as it was fleeing fires. Here's a little bit of what he said about that.
We were doing a patrol of an area of where the fire had burnt through, and we were just making sure there was no spotting into another area. We've come around and we just thought, oh, there's a sheep there, and realised it was stuck in a dam, obviously, that it had gone to seek refuge from the fire. So the crew went over and pulled it out, and it off on its way. I think it was happy with that we'd come along. So yeah.
It sounded like it was bogged.
Yes, it was. Yeah, and then we nearly became bogged ourselves. So, but yeah, the sheep was happy for it to be able to walk away. Otherwise, I think it would have sadly probably perished where it was. So. something to make you feel good for the day.
Something to make you feel very good. I bet that sheep was very happy, Emilia. I think we've got some pictures of said sheep being rescued there. And yeah, I mean, as you say, of all the potential horror being faced by Queenslanders, it's stories like this that really brighten the heart.
It really is, and I've been hearing so many other stories like that here in Agnes Water from people who've been evacuated from Deepwater. People have been opening up their caravan parks, they've been opening up their homes to strangers to house them in. We've had school children making sandwiches and putting adorable little notes in there for the firefighters saying thank you. We've had people try to get food for stranded horses through to guinea pigs, I've been hearing. So there's definitely been a beautiful feeling of community spirit here, and it's definitely appreciated in Queensland.
Great to hear. Emilia Terzon at Agnes Water. Thank you so much for the update.
And the Queensland Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk says they've had some good news overnight. The fire emergency, however, is far from over.
The